incoming to Alice Springs, you just see there's a lot of fruit on the trees, you know, and you see that fruit go to waste. So far away from anywhere, you start thinking about sustainable ideas, you know. And at first, actually, I was thinking of marmalade. There was a couple of us last year, and we sort of got together and we joked about, oh, let's make it an annual event. And well, it kind of is because the fruit comes on. So
I gather you've got citrus here at your house.
Yeah, we've got grapefruit, mandarin, and orange.
Big established trees?
Yeah.
And what did you do at first with those? You just found that you couldn't keep up with them, or what?
No, there's just so much stuff there. And previously I'd explored making jams and stuff. But cordial from citrus is a heaps better production process. So we actually harvested everything. We had a huge box. And then we were like, oh, this is all going to go off. And what are we going to do? And so up came the ideas and searching for a cordial recipe that made concentrate. Most of the recipes make just a mix. But finding an old grandma's one is what it took to get the one that's actually a concentrate and make up, you know, numerous litres of mixed cordial. And then, as you say, you'll see how I'm sort of working my way. It's about the quickest way. Yeah, kind of at first you think you sort
My grandfather has lived in Alice since 1966. Planted a lemon tree at my mother's house, at Maggie Urban's house, and been producing bucket loads of lemons every year ever since.
And what do you do with them? I mean, have you usually found a use for them, or has this been an opportunity?
No, we never do. They rot on the tree. We have to pick them all up, and we can never give them all away. We juice them up and we use them when somebody has a cold.
So maybe if you could explain the process of cordial making.
Different recipes say different things, you know, and in the olden days, 50 years ago, they'd used to use a lot more sugar than we would think to use perhaps today. So the recipe we're using is an old Australian grandma's recipe from Sydney, but it calls for 2.4 kilos of sugar. We're putting in 1. And we've tested it from like 2, 1.5 down to see which will keep, and 1 keeps. But fructose and honey and less doesn't keep, it'll go off. And then we're using around 2 kilos of fruit, and we want to catch the rind of some of them. So here's one where we haven't grated the rind, and here's one where we have grated the rind. And then we squeeze them out, which is what I'm doing at the moment. And that's kind of like the fruit production part. So we end up with rind and juice, which is strained into the mixture.
This is the sugar, rind, tartaric acid and citric acid mix. And so we just add the juice. And then after that, the hot water. So we added 2 litres of hot water to that. You just stir it and make sure the sugar's all dissolved. Before cooling it down a bit and doing the bottling, which is what's going on in this top.
Yeah. It's pretty quick. This is the prepared material, like prepared cordial concentrate.
So you've got the rind in there, and
yes.
And that, so when you pour the cordial, you've got a bit of roughage in there.
You do have a bit of roughage in there. The rind, yeah, this is more traditional, like, you know, like traditional Australian grandma that have the rind on the top floating.
Yeah.
It adds a heap more flavour. You want the rind in there, and it goes like it eventually just turns into like a transparent mush. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, and it's loaded with vitamin C.
It's happening stuff. We've got mandarin and grapefruit, mandarin and tangerine, which we didn't have much of, so some of that's already gone. Grapefruit's here, big batch of grapefruit, it's on the way. Heaps more on the tree, man. I can make like, you run out of bottles. You know, you can't get enough bottles. This is what we call the maker's mix, is where we just put all the dregs into 1 bottle, which the people who make them, like, when you're together you drink. It's a little ritual we have. This is mandarin cordial. Yeah, how's that, eh?
Does that need any special technique?
A bit more citric acid because it's not bitter, you know. Orange. Haven't had a lot of orange in. unfortunately, and lemon. This is the lemon over here. And at the moment we're making a lemon and orange mix.
So it sounds like the most you've got a lot of mandarins.
We have got a fair few mandarins. We've actually started making mandarin concert.
Are you hoping this will catch on with this?
Well, you just keep doing something and it keeps happening. So, you know, and I guess that's it. Like, it is an annual event because next year I'm going to be wanting to make cordial. So, you know, that's what trees do. They, you know, they're an annual event.